Good morning, everybody. We're coming upon the last days of Peasach, and Shvi Shel Pesach is the day that we commemorate the events of Kriyas Yamsuf. The Psukim in Parshas Beshalach describe the different events that happened on Shvi Shel Pesach. And the Psukim tell us how when Klal Yisrael arrived at Yamsuf, so on the one hand they had their backs against the sea, and on the other hand the Egyptian army was closing in. Moshe Rabbeinu starts to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the pasuk says, "Vayomer Hashem al Moshe, Ma titzak elai, daber b'nei Yisrael v'yisau." Hashem says to Moshe, "Why are you crying out to me? Speak to Bnei Yisrael. Tell them to go. Just go. Now is not the time for davening." Right? The simple explanation, seemingly, that Hashem is saying this is not an appropriate thing to be doing. Davening is not what you should be doing. Just go. And many of the Mefarshim have a hard time understanding what exactly is, why here suddenly is davening or crying out to Hashem to save us an inappropriate thing to do. Seemingly that's the natural response that Jews and Klal Yisrael have had in many instances to times of distress. Why here is Hashem saying that it's the wrong thing? So many different explanations are given, but surprisingly or interesting explanation comes out from the Medrash Rabbah on these psukim. The Medrash makes a parallel between two psukim in Tehillim, the two psukim that start with the word tefillah. Right? On the one hand, the beginning of Parak Tzadi, tefillah l'Moshe Isha Elokim, and on the other hand, we have the pasuk of tefillah la'ani ki yatov, and the Medrash makes a parallel between these two psukim that begin with the word tefillah, and says that as a mashal, right, a human being by human beings, when a poor person, an ani or a downtrodden, non-important person comes to speak to them, so they don't usually listen. But if somebody important, a person of stature, somebody who's wealthy, comes to speak to them, they're all ears. They're willing to hear them out and to give them what they need. On the other hand, the Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't make any such distinctions. He accepts the prayers and the tzedakah no matter where it comes from. And that's the parallel that's being made here, whether it's the tefillah of Moshe Isha Elokim or it's the tefillah of the downtrodden Ani Ki Yatov. Both of those tefillahs are accepted and are viewed equal in the eyes of Hashem. It says the Medrash, that's what Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu at Yam Suf. Not that tefillah was the inappropriate thing to do. Of course, it's always an appropriate thing to be mispal to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to save us. What he was telling Moshe is, don't think that I need your tefillahs. Klal Yisrael is already davened. I don't need you to be tzoik. Don't think that your tefillahs have some sort of unique benefit over the tefillahs of Klal Yisrael. The tefillahs of Klal Yisrael are already accepted. You don't need to add anything. Daber al b'nei Yisrael v'yisau. They're gonna experience the miracle of Kriyas Yamsuf based on the merit of their own tefillah. There are two really important ideas that come out of this medrash. Besides meaning the first one being the message of the medrash itself, which is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't differentiate and doesn't care about the differences in stature and of wealth and of different people. All tefillos are niskabel in front of him equally. But another message to take out would be, in light of our mitzvah of Valachta B'drachav, that we're supposed to try to emulate Hashem in His ways, we too have to go against the way that the Medrash says human beings act, our natural way of acting, and to try to emulate HaKadosh Baruch Hu more, and in the same way that He listens and helps and gives and lends an ear to the ani and to the ashir and to the downtrodden and to those who have high stature all equally, we too should try in our own personal lives to give everyone, no matter how important or not important they are, the same listening ear and the same open heart, and give them that attention that they need. Wishing you all a good moed and a good yontif.